Good morning, team. Welcome back to FPL Double Pivot. Today it's Friday. That means one thing. It's the FDR or the fixture decoder. Now, you think you know how games are meant to be colour-coded. Do you think Sunderland is still a green fixture? Well, I'm not so sure. And today we're going to go through it and help you with any other FPL needs. It's not a Halloween edition, although it is Halloween. There's nothing scary about my guest who sits opposite. It's FPLD unit. Darius, how you doing, mate?
I'm good. I feel like I should have worn a mask now that you've just said that.
Thanks, mate. You good?
Yeah, I'm good, man. I'm good. How are you?
Yeah, good, mate. Good. I was saying I had a hectic morning. But we're saying, like, obviously you're on Friday evening now, so I feel like I'm peering into the future. You've got, you know what I mean? You know what's going to happen before anyone knows it, because essentially you're in the future. It's Friday night there, isn't it?
The trick and treaters are already out knocking on doors and stuff. And I've got the eggs ready.
I was saying to Kieran the other day, Kieran is definitely one of those people that will lock the doors, turn the lights off, draw the curtains, and he will not answer the door. Are you the opposite, yeah?
Unfortunately, no one really comes. We live in a very quiet area of town, so I think we got one person last year. So I've got the chocolate ready to go and an egg to go with it when they walk away. But
just that one person as well. Oh, Jesus. Yeah. So listen, we've got a good show today, and that's the main thing we're really going to cover, Darius. You've been saying it for quite a while that Sunderland is still marked, or it was until yesterday, Sunderland is marked green, and we all know Sunderland now is not a green fixture. This is why we do this pod on a Friday. Often a colour bias is on us. You know what I mean? Light green, we see that, don't we, Darius? And we're like, do you know what? I'm going to bring 3 players in for that team, but quite often that's not the case. So the colours do affect our decisions and our FPL teams. And do you know what I think we should get moving forward, Darius, as well? We'll chat on there, but you should get like a half and half bar. Half for attack, half for defence. And then people would be able to use it a bit better, wouldn't they?
I would agree. That would be very nice.
Right, okay. I tell you what, let's just go straight in. The first thing we're going to do, though, is we're going to review game week 9, mate. So your team is on the board, mate. Talk us through how it went, mate.
Yeah, I mean, other than I got the benching decision wrong this week in terms of double Newcastle versus double Bournemouth. Obviously, Bournemouth kept the clean sheet in Newcastle. I just thought that Fulham would get nothing there, but they did. But in reality, potentially, I was... And like the fixtures didn't play out the way I did. I mean, the one thing I will say is that I got the captaincy call right. I said that Haaland was likely to blank this week, and he did. I'm just really gutted that I didn't captain him Boomo instead of Bruno, because if it wasn't for Bruno's 300th, and I thought I got a little bit romantic about it, I would have captained him Boomo instead. So I'm a little bit annoyed with myself for not doing it, but I got a little bit swept away in the emotion of the 300th. And he was so close. He should have returned a bit more than what he got. But yeah, it was unfortunate. Other than that, it was a pretty normal week. Most other people got pretty similar scores.
Yeah, I think the one that stands out for me, though, is, and I'll let you off because it's a fantastic face on that DCL body, mate. Looks fantastic. I love that picture, by the way. It's so good. Who made it? Someone in your chat?
Yeah, so one of the boys, Luke, he's a really talented person in terms of making memes and stuff. And he actually it was really funny because I mentioned it in like a differentials video, and he goes, "I use this photo instead." And I was like, "Oh, yeah, I can get on board with that." So I actually put myself on, well, that was actually the photo he sent me. So I put that in everything that's Dominic Calvert-Lewin. Unfortunately, Dominic Calvert-Lewin finishes like Dominic Calvert-Lewin. He doesn't finish like the D unit. Otherwise, he would have scored a brace in this game.
That's what the message says anyway there, essentially. Listen, no, it's a decent team. Like you're saying, the ranks are so close anyway, and people are worried about the rank just now. Yeah, you should be a bit worried about it, but not that worried. We're just a quarter of the way through the season. So there's plenty more points to gain or lose, maybe probably in my account. No, it's a good teammate. We'll come on to I like it. It's got good balance. Are you thinking about taking any money out your front line? A lot of people are thinking about changing the front line to like a two up.
I think actually the smartest decision, I think, is potentially just going to a forward 2 and just absolutely dead ending the last spot, which at the moment is Mark Gui, because Mark Gui's 4.2, and you're not going to get anyone cheaper in the game in the forward 8 that's that price. So it makes a lot of sense to do it now and just dead end that spot, I think.
Well, Darius, you would think maybe a good content creator such as myself has Mark Way in his team, and you would be correct, my friend. A few highs in the chat. Mike's in there, Geddy's in there, Jackie, Wade, another Mike, Zeitgul. Yeah, he's on a wild card. Mike's on a wild card, so we would help you there. Thanks very much for joining. Right, let's talk about my team. It was good. You see a little Mark Way in there, mate. He's in there. Don't worry, he's there. It was pretty good. It wasn't a bad game week. Obviously, Van de Ven opening it up, banging goals in the other week. So I went for the double Bournemouth defence, which paid off. My actual back four all got points, which is unheard of in my team, Darius. Usually we're on the two of the ones, mate.
Oh, mate, you've done really well. I've just sat there, looked at that team and thought, holy hell, that's a really good week that you've had there.
Stop it, Darius. Stop it. That's not what brought you on for the show. Well, I kind of did. Yeah, so that went well. And it's always good when a player at the end of the game week bangs and Porro. And it was about time Porro came through because he's not been playing the best. So that was good. 11-pointer. Midfield wasn't the best. Eze though, you know what I mean, picking up 3 bonus as well as Gabriel. So that was good. I've been big on Eze and Saka double up for a while. The Gakpo, Gordon, and Reinders let me down, especially Gordon. But I was saying to Kieran that I still think that even though I'm still above average, my differentials aren't paying off. But I'm still well above average and getting green arrows, which is what you want. And hopefully it comes together this week, and my differential's bang, and then, I'm up to where Kieran is, top 38k. We can all dream, Darius, do you know what I mean? We can all dream,
That's it. I tell you what, you were very unlucky with your Gordon pick because he should have had a hat-trick of assists in that game. The people that he kept on putting on a platter for kept sending it back.
100%. And hey, this is why we work so well, Darius. We actually watch football games, unlike some individuals just look at data that can't show that. But yeah, you're right. I mean, he put Jacob, he put Murphy through for a 1-on-1. There was another 1-on-1. So yeah, he deserved more in there. Gakpo not so much, and Reinders is becoming an issue. But,
yeah, at least said about him the better.
Right. Get out of my team. But yeah, I've got the Mark Way up there, which is good because he dropped a bit in value. But he's going to play this weekend because Delap obviously got sent off like an idiot the other day. Haaland. And I'm happy with the bench as well, actually. Vicario in there. Richarlison will take some money out at some point. And LaCroix, actually, he's not performing. So I think at some point I will take him out, mate. But for the most part, pretty good, right? I'll tell you what. Go on.
The Lacroix pick, actually, I prefer over the Gahey pick just because of the fact that Lacroix's ownership is so much less. So at some point, it's going to turn around and he will get that attacking return and it'll be a big differential when it happens.
Yeah, I think I'm just going, I just like attacking too much there. I think that's what it is, mate. Engen, how you doing, mate? Right, okay. That's been long enough. Let's get into this, mate. Let's get into this. So if you're new to the show, come on. Like, sub, all that kind of good stuff. Right, if you're new to the show, what we do here is, essentially, we'll look at the fixture colour coding. Quite often it's wrong. So me and Darius, we'll go through it. We'll chat on every single game, and then we'll put down how much we think they'll score. That'll give us a rating, like a FIFA rating of up to 5 stars. And then we'll be able to see the before and the after. And that'll give us an average points. Now, this is set up for the next 6 game weeks. All right, this is on Fantasy Hub. I'm not sponsored by them, but the link is in there if you want to go and use it. It's good. Everyone by now knows how to do the fixture ticker. And what I'll do, this just updates. So that'll give us an average point over the next 6. Now, for those that are on wildcard, like Mike, this is very useful because obviously you want to set some players for kind of your next 4 to 6 game weeks. Right, Darius, let's just go straight into this, mate. Let's start with, actually, I think it'll be a good game, which is Brighton v Leeds, mate. And obviously, you sitting with DCL, talk to me about Brighton Leeds.
I've got rid of DCL.
Rewind.
2 weeks and done, he didn't do anything, and I need the extra money, so he's been shown the door. But I think potentially, when I was doing my own score predictions before, I don't know why Brighton struggle to keep clean sheets. They're a bit like Fulham. So I've got Leeds for at least, I actually think the game will be 2-2. I don't know why. I just think it'll be 2-2. No reason, but I think Brighton will definitely score goals. I think potentially, though, Leeds will score a couple as well. And people say Leeds' defensive data is really good, and it is. but most of their clean sheets and that have come at home, not away. So I think that the long trip down south, I reckon there's going to be a few goals in this game.
Yeah, see, we're on the same page, mate. All these people that are chasing the points, which I put a video out yesterday while I was running, chasing Rodon points. Listen, don't do it. I think people are bringing them in. Would you get Rodon in, Darren? I think this is insane.
No.
People bringing them in.
No, if you're getting a 4.1 million defender in, it's got to be Mukiele or a Sunderland one, because if you look at the fixtures for Leeds long term, they are unbelievably bad.
Yeah, they are. In fact, I'll tell you what, while we're here, let's have a look at them, mate. They've got Brighton, Forest, Villa, City, Chelsea, and Liverpool. And like you were saying, they're better at home than away, but they still concede goals. They've kept one clean sheet in the last 7, and from that 7 there, I don't see we're going to keep a clean sheet. And people are like, yeah, he's cheap enough to stay on your bench. Well, it's brilliant. But if you want a player, if you're going to waste a transfer on a player that's going to sit on your bench, you might be playing FPL wrong, Darius.
Yeah.
Right, let's have a look at the goals here, mate. So they've got Brighton to score 1.4 and concede 2.4. Now that's insane. DCL scoring 2.4 goals, insane. Right, Brighton, they always score and they do always concede, but at home, I'm thinking like a 2.1, 2.2, Darius. What are you thinking?
Easy. I think Brighton easily scored 2 goals in this game. I wouldn't be surprised if they even scored 3, to be honest. But yeah, I've got them down for 2 at least.
2, and then Leeds to score. How many are you thinking? I like Brighton always do concede, so I don't know.
It's got to be at least 1.5, I reckon.
There you go. Look at that. Bam. Do you know what would be so funny? Well, not for you, but if you take DCL out and he scores.
Oh, he's 100% scoring. I've taken out Foden this week, who I love. I've taken out the DCL unit. Guaranteed they both scored this weekend.
So what we'll do is we'll just update this for Leeds as well. So 1.5, we put that. And then 2, there we go. And then 2.3 concede. Yeah, I don't get this big thing on Leeds. They've done well, mate, but they're still not that good a team, mate. They conceded to West Ham, and West Ham were dreadful, absolutely dreadful. So, and you can see there straight away, Darius, like anyone who was looking, or maybe wasn't looking at Brighton, they had 2-star attack. Now they've got 5-star attack and 2.5 defence. They're playing a Leeds, then a fairly tired Palace, and then they've got West Ham, in the next 6 as well. So maybe, players from there who you're thinking more Minty, Welbeck.
It's going to be Minty and Welbeck. I reckon those are the 2 you want to look at. I reckon.
This is why he's on this. Yeah, as you're listening along, or even if you're watching it back, put in what score you think will happen for these predictions. Right, on to the next one. Wolves, Fulham. Wolves away, Fulham at home. Very strong at home, Darius. At the moment, they've got 0.5 star and 0.5 star. They haven't been the best. Anderson is not back, correct? I don't think he's back.
I don't think it makes a difference if he's back or not. I don't rate Fulham at all.
Yes. Well, we know we've had conversations with Gary and at the podcast that they had Anderson. Don't get it, mate. I don't get it. Yeah, get your DEFCONs all you want, but if you can't keep a clean sheet, I don't really understand it. Now, they've got Fulham to score 0.8 and concede 2.7, which is not the... that's insane.
2.5 goals.
That's insane.
That's a bit ridiculous.
Big Wolves, right. I think... Do you know what? I actually think Fulham will do pretty well in this, and I think they'll score at least 2 goals. I think big Josh King, mate, if anyone's looking at bench boost, I would bring him in, because I think he's gonna do well. Did you see the Wolves Cup game during the week, mate?
I did.
Oof,
I did.
Mate. I thought it was bad, mate. It was bad. They essentially gave away 3 goals or 2 goals just by mistakes. They were like, here you go, can't be bothered. Here you go, here's the ball. So it could get bad for them. Fulham score wise, I'm thinking 1-5, 1-7. What do you think?
Well, I've gone with Fulham to score 3 and Wolves to score 1, just because of the fact Fulham don't know how to defend. But I think this is the end of Pereira. I think that's the end of it.
Let's go just go down a bit. Go 2.4 and then concede. Do you think they'll concede? Because they are quite strong at home. But then again, they're
always concede at least a goal.
Yeah, and actually, Wolves' attack is better than their defence, isn't it? I mean, I think everybody knows that by now. But yeah, so if we go Fulham score 2.4 and concede 1.5, then we go to Wolves 1.5 and then 2.4. And this is why we do this, Darius, isn't it? Because what they have got down and what is reality are 2 different things a lot of the time. They've only just updated the Sunderland board, And I'm actually, after a quarter of the season, we might want to change it from a green fixture because they're actually quite difficult.
I can't believe it took them that long. They were sitting like in the Premier League top half of the table for like the first 9 weeks, and they've only done it in game week 10.
Maybe they're trying to put us off, Darius. Maybe that's why. Now I see what they're trying to do. So if you have a look at Fulham now, I mean, they've got 5-star attack. I mean, I would maybe calm the ham a little bit on the Fulham attack. But yeah, defenders, I mean, you're not really looking to get anybody in. Sessignon will probably play, you might get a bit of return. But there's no one really we're looking from these two teams, are they, Darius? Wolves, Fulham?
Not long term. For a 1 week punt, I think Iwobi, Raul Jimenez could be really good shouts, even Josh King. But yeah, you don't want them past this week. So unless you're on a free hit, you're not buying them.
No, that's it. If you've got any questions, put them in the chat team and we'll star them and we'll answer them at the end, especially when we come into our teams as well. Right, on to the next one. Do you know what? Let's just go straight into it. We'll go from the top, we'll go down. Liverpool, Villa. Now, Liverpool in the last 7 games have lost 6. It's not ideal. Slot's blaming the fact that people know how to play against Liverpool. If that's a defence, I don't know. He left all these stars at home the other night. They got a rest, and that's fantastic. I done a little stream the other day, Darius, and saying that I think that was bang out of order for Slot. What he done, he didn't help those teenagers' confidence, did he? He knew they were going to get beat, and he thought, do you know what? I've got a bit of an out here if I play a 25% team. I thought it was poor form, mate. What do you think?
I think that he's an exceptionally lucky manager that the Premier League last season was as bang average as it's been in a long time, and he actually won. Because I dare say that if he had started this season and he hadn't won the Premier League last year, he'd be gone. He would just be gone. I don't think Liverpool would have kept him if it wasn't for him winning the league.
Well, you've seen other managers that are under more pressure than that. And listen, okay, people are saying like a cup. But the reason they bought all the players they bought, Darius, spent a fortune, spent 130 million on one player, is so they could fight on all fronts. Now, that team he put out the other day was not fighting on any front. It was embarrassing, mate, and I felt quite sorry for the younger lads, to be honest. The question is, are they gonna recover in the Premier League? Now, at the moment they've got 5-star attack. Listen, Liverpool still score, so still look at your Gakpos. In fact, apart from your Gakpo, who would you go to, Darius? There's no one really nailed for me. I mean, is Isaac going to play? I'd be more inclined to maybe go Ekitike than over Salah or Verts.
Yeah, to be honest with you, I would not be touching a Liverpool player until at least game week 12. And then I'd actually want to see them win a game of football before I dived in, if I'm being brutally honest. They've been woeful. And Villa have won 4 games in the trot in the Premier League now, and I expect them to continue here. I don't think there's any end in sight for Liverpool. I think the pain is going to amplify. There's going to be Real Madrid midweek. I think they'll lose that too. And then I think they'll go to Manchester City and lose there. I think they could be like 9 losses in 10 games.
Mate, the pressure is on. It's like Gil's put in there, Ekitike should be made to feel like the man and stop the faff. And I kind of agree, mate. He came over, he adapted to the Prem straight away. He was banging goals in, and now he's been pushed to the side to make way for Isak. And he can't, he needs to sort that 4 out. Salah, I mean, listen, he needs to start dropping Salah if he needs to. I'll be completely honest with you, mate. But yeah, let's jump into this game. So at the moment, let's see what the scores are. Or let's see what they predicted. 2.7 to score. I mean, they are at home, and 1.4 away. What do we think on that? A little bit less, a little bit more? Do you think they'll concede more than 1.4?
I think they concede more, and I think they score a hell of a lot less than 2.7.
Do you think so? We'll bring that down then. What about 1.18, something like that?
I reckon it's about the same. Yeah, whatever it is. Yeah. I reckon they concede as many as they score.
Let's go 1.919, and we'll do that for Villa. Listen, Villa, I mean, they've just come off the back of beating City, so they have improved. I still think it's a little bit...
They were good value for that win. They were good value for that win. I mean, they should have won by more than 1-0. Like, City were pretty lucky they left with a 1-0 loss, I thought.
And that's the thing. I don't know. With that, though, I don't know if it's more... There's an issue with City trying to break teams down than Villa as well. But it was probably a combination of both. But if you look at they've still got a 4.5-star attack. So, listen, I've got Gakpo. I'm kind of glad he's probably the best one we want to own from that attack. I wouldn't be really moving to any defence, though. I moved Van Dijk on 3-4 game weeks ago, Darius, and I'm happy I did, because I don't see any clean sheet coming soon. okay, he might get a header, but if I've got a defender, I want him for a goal and a clean sheet. And it's 6.1, I think 6.2. He's too expensive, right?
Expensive Anderson, that's what he is.
Yes, Anderson Mark II. Get out my team. Yes, mate, I like it. So yeah. I mean, don't be put off by the Liverpool attack, but I probably wouldn't be wasting a transfer to go there. That has changed. So before, that was like a kind of a grey, and now that Villa is changed to a light red. So this is why we do this, Darius. Do you know what I mean? Quite often you'll then look at the updated FDR that we do, our custom one, and think, do you know what? I don't think I'm going to get a Liverpool player this week because it's going to be a tough game, and they're not going to have many ceiling FPL points. Right, Man City, Bournemouth. Talk to me on this one, mate. I'll let you take the lead because this is quite a hard game actually to predict.
This is an interesting game. Now, I've watched City the last few weeks, and obviously because I had Phil Foden, I was wondering whether I should be keeping him or not. And look, the underlying data for him has been really good. He just has not been returning. He's been getting assists of assists. He's been getting chances missed. It's been horrible owning him and captaining him and just watching this unfold. But the thing I'll say about City is I think they're better than last season, but okay. I think that them and Chelsea look like two teams that are already buggered and they're getting injuries galore. I think that Club World Cup should never be played again because I will be interested to see how the other teams that participated and went well in it, the big European teams go. But even PSG aren't running away with League One. So I reckon it's all to do with the Club World Cup. And I think for that reason, I think Bournemouth probably get a draw here. I think both teams score multiple goals. And I reckon it's going to be like a 2-2 draw or something stupid like that.
I mean, that's not a bad shout. And I agree with it. There's only one thing that you could probably guess that is going to make the difference in this game. The man, the mythical legend. Yeah, exactly. The cyborg Phil Foden. No, I think like Haaland. He just brought a YouTube channel. I'm pretty sure everyone's seen it, but yeah, I mean, if he's on his day, he could score against whoever he wants. But they've got 2.8 to score and 0.9 against. I mean, I'd probably keep it about 2.8.
They are definitely conceding to Bournemouth. I don't know why they're at 0.9.
Yeah, let's go, 1.5? Roughly, something like that? Yeah, we'll go 1.6. And that's the thing I brought up a while ago as well, Darius. We looked through their squad. People should just have a little look and just refine. Look at their back four, because listen, Donnarumma's a class keeper. Just look at that back line and ask yourself, is that good enough to win the Premier League? It's not good enough to win the Premier League. And they're conceding goals all the time. They conceded midweek as well to Swansea. Absolute screamer, by the way, but they still conceded. So 2.4 and 1.6. So let's just go into Villa. Bournemouth.
Pretty accurate, 1.7.
Yeah,
they went far off.
It was just conceding. I'm more inclined to think 2-1 City, mate. They're at home.
Nothing.
It wouldn't surprise me if Haaland popped up, but a draw is a good shout. What do you see, Desmond? 2-2.
Well, interestingly, apparently Haaland's record against Bournemouth isn't overly flash, but Man City generally account for Bournemouth quite easily at home, which is an interesting stat.
Wow, that's it. Is he going to... I mean, listen, there's not going to... Well, actually, let's talk about that. Do you think this is a week in which we could go against captaincy? Maybe, actually.
I'm doing it for the 5th week in a row.
Oh, here we go. So stick around to see Darius's team because he's going to captain somebody else. Right, okay, on to Palace Brentford. At the moment, Palace have got half a star and then... half a star attack, which is wrong, and then 1.5 defence, which again is wrong. The next run of 6 is Brentford, Brighton, Wolves, United, Burnley, Fulham. So actually, fairly easy. I don't know why a lot of these are red, especially this team, Darius. That should be the lightest green you've ever seen. So yeah, let's just dive straight into this. I've been quite vocal in saying that I think Palace, at some point, they will get tired. They played a 90% side against Liverpool. They've got a game 3 days later against Brentford. Then they're back in Europe this week coming up. There's a bit of an international break during that, but a lot of their players are now international players, so they're not going to get a break. So at some point, a bit of that dip in form will happen. It'll happen. I don't know if it'll be this week, but it will happen at some point. I mean, Munoz's hamstrings must be absolutely screaming at him, mate, because he's played like 90 minutes, like every single game. The guy's a unit.
He must be one of the fittest blokes on planet Earth.
He must be. You know, there was that fable that David Beckham completed the bleep test, apparently. Or he got the highest score and then it stopped. He must be on par with that. But they've got Palace. They're at home to score 1 and concede 1.9. Now, this is wrong. I would say they're probably going to score maybe a few. What do you think?
Yeah, I reckon there'll be. I think that both teams score. I don't think Palace keep a clean sheet, which will be to the disgust of many that are bringing in their assets. But I think Brentford have been looking much better in recent weeks, and I think they'd probably score at least 1.
Thank you. And Kieran actually conceded, which sometimes is hard for him to do. I said at the start of the season, Brentford, I'm not overly worried they'll go down. Nah, they're going down. They're definitely going down. Listen, they've lost their best players. They lost their captain. They lost their manager. And the new manager, mate, he's doing a fantastic job. I don't think people are giving him enough plaudits, mate. You know, he's doing really, really well. Right, so let's go 2 and then concede. So you think they'll score, so what, about 1.5, something like that? To concede,
yeah, something
1.6.
like that.
So let's go 2 and 1.6. Let's go to Brentford, 1.6. And see, that's colour coded and changed it. Right, so all those people like Brentford's an easy fixture. It's a little bit like we're saying on Sunderland, Darius. Like, Brentford isn't that easy a fixture anymore. At home, they're a little bit more open, aren't they? Obviously, they try and score more goals. And away, they're more defensive. But, you know, it's still a tough fixture, mate. So, you know, light green, that's going to change the wee red. In terms of bringing Palace players in, mate, I think people are going a bit too much on them. Who would you look to bring in if you bring in one player from Palace? One player, but I definitely get it.
Yeah, I feel like the three obvious ones are obviously Munoz, Sarr, and Mateta. The reason why I think that is because of the fact that we do expect Palace with their tired legs to potentially not keep that many clean sheets. So for that reason, you probably want the 3 most attacking players. And I think the thing with Palace is when they score, they're generally concentrated amongst those 3 players. Like one of those 3 is generally speaking almost involved in every single goal they score, which is why I think they're so popular.
Do you know what? You bang on with that. Can you hear me now, Darius? Can you?
Yep. I was like,
there we go. Here we go. Oh, mate, nightmare. I should have put in my tweet the other day, and then that's what we're saying. The 4 top, they had 6 players that were in the top 40 of most minutes played by any players in the Premier League, and they were directly responsible from the 12 goals for 9 of them. Now, if those players are going to start performing less, it's going to have a direct response to the amount of goals they're scoring, like you're saying there, mate. So they can't sustain it. They can't win every game, Palace. So there's going to have to be a dip in form, and I think they're going to start scoring less. And is that maybe changing your opinion on Mateta a little bit? I mean, maybe not for this weekend, to be fair.
Well, it's a tough one because, as I said, we'll talk about my team in a little bit, and I'm in that quandary where originally at the start of the week he would have been in, but because of the time changes and bloody clocks changing and the FPL price changes not changing in relation with the UK clocks, I thought I had an extra hour and I didn't have an extra hour, and I was mucking around and just didn't confirm it. So at the moment I don't have Mateta, but I've got Sarr. So at least if all things go pear-shaped, if Palace blank, all of a sudden I'm not 2 players down, I'm only 1. But if they score and they're both involved, then I'm obviously a player down. But it's a roll of the dice, really, isn't it?
Yeah, I think if I had to choose one, I'd probably choose Sarr. I think just ahead of Munoz. Mateta, I said to you, I'm not. I mean, all right, he scored a hat trick, but again, if you chase points, it's never really going to end that well. Right, let's go to Arsenal. Listen, we know what Arsenal do by now, mate. They're away to Burnley. People are saying, oh, but they're boring. They're winning 1-0, 2-0. They're winning. And for me, I think they win the league. I've been saying it for probably since game week 5. Arsenal are the only side in the Premier League right now that are playing like champions. They're keeping it tight at the back. They've only conceded 3 goals, and they're scoring goals at the other end. Okay, they're not scoring 3, 4, 5 that City, have done in the past, but it doesn't matter. It's 3 points. For me, they take the title, mate. I mean, do you? I know there's a long way the season still to go, but can you see anyone else bar Arsenal coming back to win it?
I mean, they just are so hard to score against. Their games are not interesting to watch. Like, I've watched a lot of Arsenal games, and it's like they get a goal, and then I don't know actually what happens in the game. It just becomes a lot of set pieces, a lot of control, and the other team doesn't actually create very much because of the way they play. But it's not exactly exciting. But at the end of the day, it's effective. There can be no arguing that. I actually think, based on what we've seen so far, and this is going to sound the most outrageous comment that anyone will make this week, but I think the team that's most likely to push them this season is actually Manchester United, because they're not in Europe. They can play the same 11 every week. And if they somehow get to January, and hear me out, Shane, they get to January and they're only 6 points behind Arsenal, they will go and spend 100 million on a midfielder, because the title race will be on.
Right. That is 100% getting cut and capped at, because I was listening to Talk Sport, mate. I was listening to Talk Sport, and there was another deluded Man United supporter. It was like, you know what? Yeah, we can be up there. Like, all right, we get it. You've won 3 games in a row. Like, I know you've not done it for ages, but
this week.
Just get what? Well, I don't know that the away record is not the best, but I know what you're saying. I get the whole. It is important, and we will see that European sides are going to start fatiguing. They will. Will Man United take advantage of that? I don't know. I hope they do. But yeah, I don't know. But it's a good point. It is a good point you put on there. I'm sure Geddy's in the chat as well. What's he saying? He's saying we're doing a title charge second half of the season. Are all Man United fans, did you all get together last night and say, right, we're going to talk about the second half of the season charge? Or is that how it works?
When you look at it, you look at the fixtures, Man United have had the toughest, well, not toughest 9, but the toughest 8 opening fixtures in the league. And we're 6 points off top. We're 6, I think we're 6th currently. And we've got arguably one of the nicest runs of fixtures between now and game week 19. Like, if Arsenal drop points, Man United could be topped by Christmas if Arsenal stuff it up.
Oh my God. I love it. I love the enthusiasm. I love it. And do you know what? Quite often this happens.
We've got Brian and Boomo from Step Aside Salah. We've got Brian and Boomo, baby.
Oh, I love it, mate. I love it. We started talking about Arsenal. We segue to Man United, but we will come into United. Right, let's have a look at how many Arsenal. So they are away. They're at Burnley. They've conceded the most expected goals in the league. They've got their attack to score 1.9. I mean, that's going straight up in it. I mean, I would say high 2s, maybe 3. What do you think?
I'd put it at 3.
Yeah. I mean, Burnley face that many shots and then concede. They're away from home. Mate,
I can't see Burnley scoring in this game. They probably will now that I've said that and I brought in Gabriel, but I just can't see it. How the hell are Burnley meant to score against Arsenal when good teams can't do it?
And remember, they rested their whole back line. Arsenal. This is a big thing for the title push. They rested their whole back line. So those that are bringing in players, I mean, Timber looks very inviting this week, mate. He could do some absolute damage. What's his name? Triggs. He didn't want to bring Gabriel for a while because he was expensive. Now he's brought him in. He is. I know people say there's no one that's 100% needed in the FPL, but Haaland and Gabriel are 2 that I think is needed, mate. It is. And yeah, that's turned. It was like a darker green for Burnley. All right, Burnley at home, I get it, but they're facing Arsenal. I'm quite excited this week actually because I've got double Arsenal attack instead of the defence, and this could be one of the games that people start going, maybe double Arsenal attack is a little bit more pretty. Some people are selling Gyökeres, mate. Is that insane against Burnley? I think it's insane.
I think he's crap. I'd sell him.
He is, and I agree with you. He just doesn't look good the way he sets his body, but I wouldn't be selling him before away to Burnley. I wouldn't be selling them because they concede a lot of time, Burnley, from number 9s. So it wouldn't surprise me if you scored a few, mate. Right, okay, let's talk about... we'll leave United to the end. We'll leave them to the end. Fulham, Wolves, we've done. Everton, Sunderland. Now, this is what I opened the show up with. Sunderland's been a green fixture for the past, 8 game weeks. Now they've decided to change it, but they had it on kind of like a light grey. At the moment, this is an orange, I would say. I'd argue this is a red for Everton, no? Away to Sunderland.
I don't think it's an easy game. Everton's form away from home this season has been rubbish. They've struggled to score goals away from home. And with the way that Sunderland have been playing, particularly at home, I don't think Everton... I've got Sunderland keeping a clean sheet and Everton not scoring. I mean, they've got Beto. Beto doesn't know how to finish. He's like Dominic Calvert-Lewin up front. You could sit there and feed him all day long and you're probably going to get nothing.
Yeah, he's definitely not a Sean Goater. Feed the goat, he'll score. He's not that. The only thing I think over the next 6, they do have some tough-ish fixtures. But listen, they're cheap enough that you can bring them in and out. You know, you play them against Everton, take them out against Arsenal, play them against Fulham, even play them against Bournemouth. In fact, even play them against Liverpool. In fact, even play them against City. I take back what I said, Darius. They are actually pretty good for the next 6 because a lot of these defenders, like your Mukiele, they'll probably get DEFCON in these games.
3 points every week.
Yeah.
And they'll probably get a couple of clean sheets in there as well.
Exactly. More chance of a bonus as well, maybe a goal. So actually, you want to play them in these. So, no, you're right with that. At the moment, it says 1-star attack, 1.5 defence. It should definitely be higher for defence at least. They've got Sunderland to score 1.2 and concede 2.8. Right, get that 2.8 down. Get it down. I think.
How are they conceding 2.8 goals against Everton? What? Who did this?
I want to know the name of this individual by the end of the day who sets this up. Right, I think Everton...
Must be someone that owns and and clearly thinks he's not in the grave yet.
And a Grealish double up and Pickford at the back. I mean, they've still got a bit of threat. They still get a bit of threat, and it's... So they'll have a bit, but I'd say maybe, 1.2, 1.3, something like that. Bit attack, I think, 2? Something like that?
Yeah.
Sunderland at home?
I think Sunderland scored between 1 and 2 goals in this game, so yeah, I'm happy with that.
So 2 and 1.2. So we've got Everton, 1.2. And actually, there's an old school player in this team, mate, that I think could do well this week of Granit Xhaka, mate. I've just got a feeling.
He could be a very good shout this week. Very good shout.
Yeah, I just got a feeling, mate. In the points, he's actually still been pretty good, actually. And then look at this, Darius. This is why we do the decoder. Straight away, Sunderland have gone from 0.5 star attack to 5. I mean, I think that's probably a bit extreme. But they've gone to 3 stars for defence. So definitely look at getting a Sunderland defender in. I'm looking at getting a Sunderland defender in because we need to move that old mindset of Sunderland. You know what I mean? A bit of we can be a bit posh, like, I'm not looking at those teams. No, look at those teams because that's where you're going to get a lot of points from, mate. Right, we've done Brentford. Oh, it's time. It's time for the title contenders of Man United against Sean Dyche is Nottingham Forest. Now, are you not a little bit worried today? Well, tomorrow, because United are good at home, but away they're pretty woeful, mate. Do you think that's going to change?
We went to Anfield and spanked them, so I'm not concerned about our away form anymore. But if you go to Anfield, going to the City Ground is an easy piece of cake.
Oh, I've got that clipped as well, Darius. I have got that clipped and the title, and these are getting merged into one when Sean Dyche does a number in United and it's like 3-0. Mikalenkovic fucking double or something, mate. Right, let's have a wee gander in here. So they've got United to score 2.4, which I think is probably about right, no?
I've got a score on 3.
3 in the first half, probably.
And Bruno Fernandes are going to combine for over 20 points this week, guaranteed. The Nottingham Forest are rubbish. They've got no one that can score goals. They're a team devoid of confidence. Yeah, they won in the Europa League, but they beat a Porto team that's also been rubbish this season. And their league form has been abysmal, and their home form got Ange sacked without getting a win. I think United just swat them aside. I think they'll score, but I think United swat them aside.
I thought you were going to break into, yeah, they've got nothing. They've got no defence. They've got no midfield. They've got no fans. I thought you were going to go straight into that one, mate. No, the fans are actually pretty good, actually. They're pretty old school. They are actually really good. I think, yeah, I
I
think
think
it's
it's
a bit
pretty accurate. 2.6,
yeah,
1.4.
yeah, we'll keep it there, 2.614. I'll just double check it's on Forest. So, yeah, see, it was a little bit different there. So bring that down and 2.6. They had a different rating to concede. And then now let's have a look at that. Yeah. So, I mean, okay, it was a red fixture, and now it's like a light orange. It wasn't like the Palace one, which is probably representative, mate. I think in terms of Man United players, mate, who would you be looking in? Because I know Mbeumo's cheaper, right? I got rid of Bruno 3 game weeks ago, and I hadn't looked back. But now, see when I see United play, I worry, mate, because the bonus points and the FPL towers, if he gets anything, if he looks at the goal in the right direction, bam, 3 bonus points. So I'd still be more inclined to get Bruno instead of Mbeumo. But what's your thoughts?
Yeah, I think that Bruno's been unfortunately dodging points for a lot of the season, but you can tell that there is a massive like 17 pointer or something loading pretty shortly. I could see him getting a goal, a DC, an assist, 3 bonus. Thanks for coming. Just based on what he's been doing, he's such a creative player, and the goals are going to be coming. You can just see it. Like the penalties unhelpful, but I firmly believe that.
Yeah.
I mean, Forest probably concede one, and then Bruno will probably score, and they'll be like, "There we go." That's what I was talking about.
Yeah, no, you're right, and that's why I get a bit frustrated with him because if you look at his scores, he has like a 2, a 3, and then a 10 or 11, a 2, a 3, a 12. But you're right in saying that those are going to get reduced in terms of he'll go from maybe a 2 and a 3 pointer and a 13 pointer to a 13 pointer and a 10 and an 8. His points are going to pick up, and that's what I worry about, mate. On the flip side though, as well, Forest straight away when Dyche took over, that's still a good team. And we have to remember that. They got Europe last season. They are still a decent team. Sean Dyche will steady the ship. They're not going to go down. So I don't know. This is a difficult one for the weekend. What score prediction do you put in for this game, mate?
I've gone Man United 3, Nottingham Forest to score because Man United do struggle with clean
3-1.
sheets, and you've still got Dallo starting, so there's every
Yeah,
chance that we can see with him starting. But I think we win comfortably.
Yeah, I think 3-1's quite a fair score, to be fair, mate. But time will tell. And we've got it clipped. So if you get battered 3-0, I'm going to clip and just have everywhere on my socials like, we're coming for the title, we're coming for it. It'll be good, mate. It'll be good. I'll tell you what, we'll leave Chelsea Tottenham to the end because it's the London Derby. We'll jump into Newcastle away to West Ham, which usually away fixtures are more difficult, but they're going to West Ham, where actually this could be more like a home fixture, mate. What do you
West
think of
Ham's
this game,
form is
mate?
dire. Their home form is dire. I think that Nuno might get sacked about winning a game as well. To be honest with you,
Do you think? I
they're horrible. They were so bad against Leeds away.
They were.
Like they should have been more than 2-0 down in that first half. They were lucky that they weren't. And then the second half, they offered absolutely nothing until the last kick of the game. It was, and then the week before when they were at home and they were playing Brentford, they were just bang ordinary. I mean, like the fans is what are they doing? Stay away. Like they're doing stay away protests. Yeah. So when your fans are doing that, you're not in a good spot. I think West Ham are in significant trouble. I don't see Newcastle doing anything other than just beating them and beating them comfortably.
It's like that meme in The Simpsons, or I don't know if you've seen that clip where Randall, someone's getting one of the bullies is beating up one of the other individuals, and he's like, "Stop! He's already dead." That's like West Ham at the weekend, mate, against Newcastle, especially like Bruno in the middle. And before we changed it there, I mean, if we look at the rating, I've just gone to top rating. I've gone to concede 3 and then score 3 and concede 0.5, which is very low for expected goals. Do you know what I mean? And I think that's pretty set. I'd love to if you could put more on this goal score up to like 5. That'd be pretty good. But nonetheless, they've got 5-star attack, 5-star defense. Bring anybody in, mate. I'm glad I've got Gordon this weekend, mate. Are you not thinking about maybe a little Gordon transfer? Does that not fit into your transfers this week?
Nah, I've already got Pope and I've already got Burns, so I'm pretty happy with my Newcastle coverage this week.
What do you like? We spoke about Gordon. He was unlucky this weekend. Do you think this is the week where he bangs a bit and people are like, oh, actually, I might go to Gordon?
So he's going to be playing against this down the side where
Yes.
realistically it's going to be one Bissaka or Kyle Walker-Peters. Yeah, I think he'll be probably pretty good this week. I mean, West Ham centre backs are unbelievably bad.
Yeah. And do you know the key thing? I brought this up the other day in the pod, Darius, but I watched that game live, the West Ham Leeds. And before the game kicked off, mate, you should have seen Nuno's face. He just looked worried, mate. And I was like, what is about to happen here? And they scored what? They conceded 2 goals in 20 minutes. So, yeah, there's definitely not much going on there. In the second half, he made like 4 subs and it shored them up. They were more defensively robust. So, listen, he might start that over this week. But nonetheless, mate, yeah, they're going to get battered. Score-wise, I would go, drop in the chat what you think it is, team. For me, I'm looking at 4 or 5-0, mate. What's your thoughts?
I've actually only got it, surprisingly, at 2-0 to Newcastle. I'm not convinced they score a boatload of goals, but I think they keep a clean sheet pretty comfortably. But
Yeah,
they could easily score more
could
than
be
2.
right.
I just think because if it was at home, I would put them down for 5-0. But because it's at West Ham, I'm just going to give them a little bit of credit and say they're going to win 2-0.
Yeah, it's probably all right. That's what happens on the show, actually. Me and Kieran, I'm like, oh, yeah, this is going to happen. And then he tells me why that's not likely. And then it brings me down from the clouds a bit, Darius. So you're bringing me down from the clouds, mate. I appreciate it. Right, I think we're on the last fixture now. I'm pretty sure we've covered them all fairly rapidly. Score-wise, yeah, I've gone 4-0 for that for Newcastle. Yeah, I think we're on it. Spurs, Chelsea, mate. Spurs at home. Our preconception pre-season was Spurs always concede. I was a big avid fan of actually, they're pretty good. On this show, Andrew, FPL Nightmare, if you're not following him, I mean, I'm sure you are, but if you're not, what are you even doing? Go and follow him. He predicted correctly together on the show that Spurs would beat City. They did. They've been keeping clean sheets and they've been ticking over, mate. I think people have forgot about how good they are. They've got the best away record in the league. They are at home against a Chelsea side, but a Chelsea side that just seem to be collecting red cards right now. I don't know. I don't know if there's some kind of bet they've got going on where so you can get the most red cards. But how do you think this is going to go? London Derby, mate.
I reckon that Chelsea have got they're getting their money for all their transfers by putting bets on red cards in their fixtures, and they're just making the money back. That's they just keep on getting. How do people getting red cards? It makes no sense to me at all. Yeah, surely that's got to stop at some point. But I mean, even Maresca on the week where they didn't get a player sent off, he got himself sent off. So it just seems to be a red card merry-go-round at the moment. But with saying that, I don't think this game's going to be high scoring because Spurs haven't been free-flowing in terms of their attack. Neither have Chelsea. And I feel like this game is going to be decided by a defensive-headed goal off a corner. I don't know why. I just got a sneaky suspicion it's going to be 1-0. I've got Chelsea scoring the goal just because of the fact that Spurs have been pretty average at home in the league and much better away from home. But I say that with no confidence. It could easily be 1-0 Spurs. Both teams inspire no confidence in me at the moment.
Well, it's funny, one of the OGs of the chat, mate, FBL Mackham, he, who, by the way, he said he left Black Box to come and watch me and Kieran. I think he'd been drinking, but anyway, I'll take it. He's gone 1-0 Spurs. Joseph's gone 1-1. I can't decide it'll be 1-0. I think you're bang on, right? It'll be a corner. It just came into my head right now, like a corner and an Enzo goal from it. So I don't know, maybe that is. I think it'll be 1-0, 1-1. Which way? I'm not quite sure, but it's not going to be high scoring anyway. People are bringing in Chelsea players. I have looked at them. I have looked at Chelsea defenders. One is Achampong for 3.9 mil, which actually I think will start. He's been playing really, really well. Not for this game, though. Not for this game, mate, right?
Nah, not for this one. I won't be bringing him for this game.
No, I mean, if you look at the fixtures, they've got Tottenham, which is difficult. After that, 100% I might bring someone in. You've got Wolves, Burnley, difficult against Arsenal, and then back in Leeds, and maybe or maybe not against Bournemouth. Right, let's have a look at this. So, Chelsea to score is 2.8. I think that's too high. We just spoke, right?
I think that's way too high.
Say 1 point. And in fact, should we do a double, both the same? What about 1.5, 1.5? Or do you think it's a bit too
high? I reckon that's pretty accurate, to be honest.
Yeah, look at that. It's like we've done this before, Josh. You know what I mean? I'll change that for Tottenham as well. Yeah, I can't really decide the winner. I may be inclined to go maybe more Spurs 1-0 because they've got a little bit more experience. Chelsea have got the youngest squad in the league, and you can see that by
They
the
do.
discipline record, and maybe it should be something that we picked up the other week, Darius. I did write it down a few times. There'll be a game where they get caught out because maybe the other day they thought that. I thought, Sunderland. Who's Sunderland? They're coming to the bridge. Yeah, we're just going to walk all over them. And, they didn't. They ended up getting beat. So, yeah, at times that will happen at Chelsea. So, yeah, I mean, that went from like an orange fixture to like a red, which is accurate, This is why we do it, because it adds value and it makes you conduct the right changes, transfers in and out for your team, and ultimately, Darius, get the most points, which is what we want, mate. Yeah, I think I'd go a 1-0 Spurs, but either way, it's difficult. I wouldn't be bringing players of any side in. I've got Richarlison. He needs to go, mate. Right. Okay, yeah, thanks for dropping in your scores. If you've got any questions as we go along now, we're just going to do the teams for game week 10. Drop them in the chat, and then we'll get Darius to answer them at the end. Right, so we'll take this little puppy off, mate. Oh, that means the faces. The Halloween's back, mate. Halloween edition's back.
Can't get my mask.
Yeah. And on here at the screen, we were talking about adding this before. We chatted about before, and this is why I do the show. This is your fixture ticker that you make. And just talk it through. And why do you make your own, Darius?
Well, for a long time, I thought that the FDR and FPL towers are just so slow to upgrade teams. I mean, how Wolves weren't upgraded to a dark green fixture is beyond me. They've played 9 games. They've not yet won a game of football. They've had 2 draws in 9 games. If that's not a dark green fixture, I don't know what is. West Ham ditto. I mean, they've been exceptionally disappointing. I don't think anyone would even argue with that. And then the other one I've got is Burnley, because I do think that Burnley are a team outside of the other promoted teams and the ones that's struggling. They're a dark green team as well. And I mean, there was other ones where I'd already disagreed. Like I didn't think Villa was a red team anymore. I didn't think Newcastle were based on what I'd seen. Spurs, no. I know they're in the top 4. I'm very unconvinced on Spurs. They're an up and down team. And I mean, Chelsea are probably pretty lucky that I've still got them as a red at the moment. But if they lose to Spurs, they'll be turning grey next week because they probably, I mean, I base it more on the fact that I think their squad should be higher than what they are, but they're just not performing at the moment. And then obviously I said Arsenal, dark red. But you can't score against them, so how are they not a dark red? Liverpool, you could score 2 goals against them without even trying. So, I mean, if Liverpool lose again on the weekend to Villa, I'm going to turn them into a grey because they're almost a very nice fixture for anyone at the moment. The one I would disagree with, and I saw FPL change it, was Bournemouth. They put Bournemouth as a red team at home. I don't think Bournemouth are that good. I think they've had a nice run of fixtures to start the season. They're in a good run of form, but I wouldn't put them as a red fixture. I think they're still very gettable at home, but they've started the season well.
Yeah, I mean, against the top 6, they're quite good because it's a really small stadium. I didn't even know the size, mate. Like, my Dunfermline stadium is actually not far off it. So I was quite surprised. And maybe big teams, they're not that a big fan of that. I think this is something that people should do more often. We look at the fixtures all the time. Fixtures are king in a lot of it. And this is what I do every week. Every single week, I'll review the games, players, and then I'll update my fixture ticker just like yourself, mate. And I think people need to do that more. Or you know what they could do, Darius? They could just come to this show on a Friday and we do it for them. Here we go. But yeah, you're right. I think maybe they need, FF Scout or Hub, whatever one you look at, I think they maybe need to update that more. Maybe not every week. That might be a little bit knee-jerky, but at least maybe every 2 to 3 weeks, mate. Right. Now, here's the main bit. This is what you come for, mate. This is what you come for. Just a wee shout about your channel, mate. I mean, if they're watching this channel, they're definitely already watching your channel. If you're not, go and subscribe to D-Unit. Great watch along. It's fun. There's banter on there, which, by the way, in the community, I would say sometimes, Darius, there isn't often that much banter, right?
No, there's not. But thankfully, I don't really moderate my community, so pretty much anything goes.
There's no background checks. No. Anyone's allowed. So if you're not already, go over there and follow Darius. Make sure you catch his live stream. Are you live streaming tonight?
I am. I'm doing the late mail at 4 p.m. UK time tonight.
So there you go. So if you're meant to be working but you need something to do, there you go. Go and make sure you be on there. I'll be over there. It's a fantastic watch. Just a wee bit of our channel as well. Again, like, subscribe, all that good stuff. Hopefully you're enjoying the content. We're loving producing it, mate. So hopefully that it keeps going. Like, subscribe, all that good stuff. Right, let's get into the interesting stuff, mate. Your team for the week. Talk to me, mate. Talk to me about current team and what moves you're thinking of making.
So you'll see I'm using my own fixture ticker here, which is why the colours look a little bit different to what FPL are using. But that's just what I think, and I think from now on I've decided this week I'm just doing my own colours because I disagree with the FPL ones so much that I'm just going to back them in. So we've made some moves. I had 4 free transfers. I've used every single one of them. We've done Krejci to Gabriel, Foden to Rice, DCL unit to Mark Gui to take up that last bench spot, and then Reinders to Saar. So at the moment, we're rocking a 4-5-1. Now, the quandary I've still got is that I still do quite like Mateta, and I am open to taking a -4 and moving Bowen on. And if it wasn't for those price rises, that would have happened. It would have just been done. I wouldn't have had Mark Gui. It would still be DCL unit, and it would be Mateta instead of Bowen. But because of those rises that happened unexpectedly, we've ended up with this. So I've got at the moment, I'm currently doing the probability odds of whether Chalobah score will be less than Mateta's -4 and the difference between whatever Mateta scores and Chalobah. And if I think it is, I'll bring in Mateta for a hit. If I don't think it is, I'll be rolling. And then next week, Jared Bowen will come onto the field, which feels quite nice because he's got Burnley next week. But I've got no confidence in West Ham at all. Otherwise, I would probably be, I think I wouldn't take a hit, but I'm very open to a hit still.
Yeah, we were chatting before, mate. I think it's a lot of pressure from Mateta. I'm not too high on Mateta's, as a Palace. I just, he misses a lot of chances, mate. I know he scored a hat-trick the other day. All right, I get it. But, okay, people are on about the amount of chances he gets. I get that, but he doesn't finish as many as we want to. Do you know what I mean? So, and the ceiling's not that high this week. So, I don't know. What percentage do you think that you're going to do it than you're not going to do it? Are you 50-50 or?
I reckon I'll throw a card up. And whatever way it lies, I'll do it.
Leave it to fate, mate. That's it.
I'm going to literally let the card decide. I'm going to put on the one of the card calls for later. FYI, if you're joining the late mail later, one of the card calls this week is Mateta versus Chalobah, just for my benefit. And if it says Mateta, then I'm more likely to do it. And then I'll ask the card directly, should I take a hit to do it? If the card says yes, then I'll be doing it. But if Chalobah comes out on top, I will not be doing it. So we're going to leave it till the late mail and we'll find out live. So
make sure you join the late mail at 4 p.m. UK time. There you go. No, it's a good-looking team, mate. It's a good-looking team. It's good that you're kind of moving to 2 players in my team. So that gives me a bit of, well, I don't know if that's a good thing or bad thing for you, mate. A bit of comfort that, some of the players that I've chose a while ago are the right players. I like the Chalobah pick. Maybe not for this week against Tottenham, but I do like it. I love the Burn pick, mate. I mean, we all know what West Ham are like from corners, so wouldn't surprise me. He might do a Van de Ven, mate. He might bang 2 goals in. Who knows? He could. Hopefully. That's why I was going to play him, because I was like, originally it was going to be. Actually, no, it wasn't originally. It was going to be this lineup, but Mateta instead of Chalobah when I had the original funds for it. And DCL unit would have been Mark Gui. And other than that, everything else would have been the same. Chalobah would have been first bench. And I would have rolled into the game week like that. But because the price rises and stuff happened and affected it, I'm now on this. And I'm just trying to work out that long term, it's probably more intelligent to go for Mateta over Bowen. Or maybe it's not. I'm not sure. So we'll see what the card has to say later. Yeah, no, I like it, mate. It's interesting. It's always... very entertaining, it is, mate. No, I like it. I like it. And then are you going to start keeping some transfers for, AFCON and stuff like that, or just before AFCON? I'm not sure, because I feel like this season I've dropped off because I played last season. I took so many hits early doors and I moved players on and didn't give any patience. And then this year I've done the opposite and my rank stinks. So maybe I need to go back to what made me good last year and just be aggressive every single week. And yeah, I'm having second doubts about which way I should do it.
But obviously, the rank I'm at, that's why I'm doing different captains, because if I sit there and captain Haaland, I'm not going to be making up the rank quick enough. And I know it's potential and it's gone poorly a couple of weeks, but I feel like 1 week very soon it's going to go bang the other way, and all of a sudden I'll be back in business.
Yeah, I mean, listen, Haaland's not the best captain every week. And if you look at the top point scorers over the last, 9 game weeks, I'm pretty sure off the top of my head, I put a tweet out there, I think 6 of them have been defenders. And the other 3, I think one, probably midfielders that you don't have. Apart from the Semenyo one, they're probably people you don't have. So, yeah, there's always room for someone else, mate. And there's a few people in the chat saying about captaining someone different. And yeah, I think this is maybe the week that you could do it. I mean, it happened last week. It's that fear, mate. It's that fear. In the first 5 minutes, if Alan just shrugs off Senesi, bangs it top corner, you're like, oh my god, I've had a nightmare here. Do you know what I mean? But that's the fun of FPL, people. That's why we play it. Or well, that's why we're meant to play it. Right, we're coming to my team. Yeah, I don't love it, but I don't hate it. So I've got a double Spurs defence at the moment. I think I've got 2 free transfers. I'm probably going to make a defensive change. It will either be LaCroix or Porro, but Porro might get another stay of execution after that liver pointer, mate. You could do it again this weekend. Who knows, mate? Could get a wee assist from a corner. So I might play him. I don't like the double Spurs and the double Palace, though. So I think LaCroix will probably go, mate. 5.1. He's not giving me what I need, Darius. So I think he'll go. For who? I might bring Dan Burnham, mate. I genuinely might bring him in, mate. I can see him getting a goal against West Ham. And then Gabriel, listen, obviously Gabriel's not going anywhere. Got arrested the weekend. Actually, I've just had a thought. I've just had a brainwave, Darius. I could get an Arsenal defender. Oh, no, I can't. Oh, I'm going to triple that. What am I talking about? Well, let's talk about that, actually, in midfield. I've got a Saka and Eze double up, which I like. It's a bit different because most people have got a double Arsenal defence. I think they could bang this weekend. Saka's looking a bit tasty now, mate. He definitely gets a return. In fact, do I maybe captain Saka against Burnley?
You could.
I think I might do that.
If you had Trossard, I'd say Captain Trossard.
Someone put in the chat as well. You keep shouting out Trossard.
No, but
so that's good.
Think about it. Generally speaking, in games like this last season, if you look at Trossard when he scores points, it's against the crap teams. So it's against the better teams that suckers and the Ezes and that do well. Against the rubbish teams, Trossard generally has a feast. So that's why I think Trossard this week is a really good captaincy shout.
Well, by that then, if I don't have Trossard, I have Saka. So I might do it. I might do it, mate. Because if Saka's on the ball against Burnley, 4 or 5, he could get a hat trick, mate. All right, I mean that's maybe a bit pie in the sky, but genuinely he could.
Yeah, he could.
I might do it now. I might do it, right. And then also I've got Reinders. So I'm thinking of 2 moves. I don't really want to waste 2 moves this weekend because I'm only going to change one. LaCroix's one and Reinders is dead to me, mate. I think I'd like Cherky because Cherky's starting to come in. I think he'll start, but I don't like that sideways move. Do you know what I mean?
Wouldn't be going to the midfielder. I'd go somewhere else. You know what you're lacking in your team? You're lacking a Man United player. That's what you're lacking.
You've got a Man United shaped hole in your team. You need to change a bit. I mean,
you do. I mean, they've got the nicest fixtures coming up. Like a lot of people are like buying Arsenal and Palace assets this week, but Man United's fixture run for the next 6 is probably the best in the league. It's probably better than Arsenal's. It's probably better than Palace's, and people are sleeping on them. They're not in Europe, well rested. They can play 1 game a week. They're going to bang. They're going to score probably more goals than any of those 2 teams, I reckon.
Well, actually, now we move. I mean, I really should put this as a graphic, but I am thinking of a triple move. Not this weekend because I don't need it, and I still think United have got a tough-ish fixture against Forest. But I'm thinking about a triple move. I'm thinking about LaCroix coming out for Mukiele, Reinders coming out for Bruno, and then Richarlison going down to 4.3 Obi. That's the moves I'm thinking of making, mate. Because do you know what? You're right. I am missing a Man United shaped hole in there, and I'd rather go to Bruno than Mbeumo. It's that fear of him. He's always involved, mate. So I think I either do nothing this weekend, or I make the 2 moves now and the Bruno next week. And do you know what? I could make it this week. I could take a -4 now and make it this week if I'm going to take it anyway. I mean, imagine that lineup: Reinders out and Bruno in. And then the
I mean, that
midfielder,
looked pretty good, wouldn't it?
Bruno, Eze, Saka, Gakpo, Gordon.
Pretty good midfield.
Is there anyone else, Man United wise, that you were looking at? Because I did for like again, I must have been drinking. I mean, I don't drink, but I was thinking about a Man United defender. Is that a thing? Do people still look at Man United defense? I don't, or even the keeper.
The defensive data has been getting better. Now, I just seen someone in the chat going Dallo, but there's a reason why I've said Dallo. So Dallo is, I don't know if he's married to Amarin's sister or something like this, but he just seems to get a game regardless.
Oh.
He's got the long throws. He puts in that many stupid crosses into the box that eventually one of them's going to be put away. And generally speaking, Dallo's he's normally good for a goal a season. So at some point, he'll score a goal when you least expect it, probably against one of these crap teams, and Dallo will score. And I don't know. I can't see him getting kicked out of the team. He's probably the most nailed defensive asset we've got because Amarin loves him and he's Portuguese. So, yeah, I think that's the third one I go with because he's cheap. And I don't know why. I hate saying it because I don't rate Dallo at all. But Amarin loves him. And, you know, you could do worse at 4.4 mil.
Yeah. No, I did have a look at someone put in the chat, if I can find it. I think it was Mike. No, it was Jordan. He put Delict underrated. And I was thinking about him, mate, because he gets
too expensive. Doesn't score goals.
Does he? Yeah, he doesn't score many, does he? He does get DEFCON, but yeah, it's a bit. There's way better options in it. I must have been tired, mate. I was gone, mate. The game had gone, mate. I was looking at Man United defenders, and I had to shrug myself and be like, right, stop it and get back to actually trying to win FPL. I'm like, okay, yes, good point. Yeah, I think it's good for this week, mate. Again, there's always going to be players in there that'll bang that we don't expect. I think Gordon could do really, really well this weekend, and so could Saka. And actually, the more I think I might put it on Saka. I think I'm going to put the captaincy on Saka, mate. I can see a pen in there as well. That's the thing. But just Gyökeres will end up taking it or something. But no, it's good. Right, any questions, drop in the chat and we will answer them. We've already got a few here just now. Right, let's just fly through them. Mike, Darius, this is for Darius. Trying to decide if triple Arsenal defence and Bruno is better than double Pope and Saka. What do you think, mate? Triple Arsenal defence and Bruno, or a double Arsenal defence, Pope and Saka?
Last week I said in my hot takes that Bruno will outscore Saka the next 5 game weeks, and at the moment he's currently doing that. So I'm going to say the Bruno and triple Arsenal defence.
One of my mates actually has done a triple Arsenal defence, and it actually looks good, mate. It actually looks really, really good. And do you expect Burnley to score? No, okay, right, they might score, but at least if you know Arsenal keep a clean sheet, you're smashing.
It's 8 points in the bag.
Yeah, least. Exactly. So yeah, I agree with you on that one, Darius. Who else we got in here? Depeche, right? Reinders, Gyökeres, João Pedro, to Saka, Mateta, and Mark Guay. What do you think on that?
Yeah, I don't mind it. There's Reinders, Gyökeres, João Pedro, to Sa, Mateta, Thiago. It depends. So Depeche depends on how you're going to line up your team. If you're intending on playing a 3-4-3 or a 4-3-3 or a 5-2-3, then go with the third forward. If you've got no intention of playing that formation, then get Mark Guay, which is what I'm doing. That's why I got Mark Guay, because I've got no intention of playing a third forward.
Yeah, like it. I've just missed one there. I'll bring it back. Proj says, anyone put captaincy on someone else? Like you were saying, different Haaland. I'm going big balls and capping big Gabs. Mate, I think it's a good shout. People have said,
I'm doing it.
I never capped defender. Are you going Gabriel?
I'm hoping that this is the week where he gets that header and gets the clean sheet, gets the DC, gets 17 points and gets an assist to go with it. 20-point return would be quite nice.
Well, I mean, people are talking about it. If they got, the Grand Slam, DEFCON, clean sheet goal, that's as much as a striker gets a hat-trick. So, and really, the odds would probably be less than that, than scoring 3 goals. Do you know what I mean? So,
Yeah.
why aren't people looking to maybe do that a little bit more? Yeah, yeah, I like it, mate. I think I'm going to go Saka, actually. I think I am. Right, Depeche. I think that's the same one as we had in there, so we'll take
Yeah,
that
same
on.
one. Yeah.
Jordan says, doing a free hit this week, removing Haaland. Am I crazy? Well, no, we were just chatting there, mate. You could go against captaincy. So, really, do you want a player who's 14.5 mil or whatever he is now if you're not captain?
14.8.
14.8, Jesus Christ. Do you want a £15 million player if you're not captain now? Do you?
No, probably not. But I don't know why I've still got him. No.
I mean, that's for the long term. Jordan's obviously doing that for a free hit, so it's a 1 week one. So
Yeah,
I think you could do it for a week, and it'll boost you up in the rankings if it comes off.
exactly. So that's what
Tom
that was,
said,
I mean. Like the reason why I've been taking on Haaland is because I think there's players that can score more than him. I still expect Haaland to score, but if he only scores one goal, his maximum points tally is 9, and I'm picking blokes that I think can get more than 9. And I still think Haaland's still the best forward. And from game weeks 12 to whatever it is, 16 or whatever, post that game with Liverpool or whatever it is, he's definitely by far the best captain in the game for that 5 weeks. So that's why I haven't sold him. And I will be captaining him those weeks. But I think in these weird weeks like this week, he can be taken on if you can get a little bit creative and have a little bit of risk. And that's my plan. And I'm hoping it comes off again.
Yeah, hopefully. Com says he's captaining Gabriel and then Saka, so I think that would be like vice captain if he was going there and different from Haaland. FPL Macom says start Tarkowski or De Kuiper and start 2 of 3 Xhaka, Semenyo or Ahmad. So would you start Tarkowski?
I'd start Tarkowski. I think Everton can see, but I think he'll get DC points, and I can't see De Kuiper getting anything other than a yellow card.
See, I had a dream the other night that De Kuiper scored actually this game week. So I don't know why, but it just because I had him at the start of the season. So yeah, I don't know. It's a bit of a 50-50, but if you're going for safe pick, I think Tarkowski. Even you never know; they could get a clean sheet. It could be 0-0, mate.
Which 2 of those 3 would you start?
I would definitely start. I'd start Xhaka and Ahmad. So I took Semenyo out, mate, when people were getting him in everywhere 3 game weeks ago. I took him out, took a risk, and touch wood, it's paid off so far. You know, he couldn't sustain those numbers. He'll probably bang like a hat-trick against City now. But yeah, I'd start Ahmad and Xhaka, mate. Again, it's ceiling for me. I want a ceiling score, you know?
I'd probably go Ahmad and Semenyo just because of the fact that City's defense does look overly good. But I think Xhaka will be perfectly fine as well. And I could definitely see Xhaka scoring in that game against Everton based on the kind of goals he likes scoring.
Yeah, Mike says, do I double up on Man United's attack? Well, this is the guy to ask. Does he double up on Man United's attack?
Yeah, I've been doubled up since game week 6 and I'm loving it. So it's been pretty good, to be honest. I'm not going to sit there. I think, like lots of, Mbeumo's the most bought in player this week for good reason. Scored a couple of goals. And obviously the Man United tax, all the Man United fans bringing in Brian Mbeumo who didn't already have him. But I do think that Bruno is being slept on. Like Bruno's numbers suggest that a massive points haul is coming, and it might arrive this week. And and if you add up, and I've got a sneak peek for the late mail later, folks. But I've done a bit of research into the numbers combined between Bruno and Mbeumo, and they literally average between them over a goal a game, like a goal involvement per game. So I think double United attack, especially with the way they're playing, is pretty sexy.
I like it, mate. So yeah, I mean hey, resident Man United. He's answered from there. Sandri says he's on a free hit. Choose 2 from these players: Iwobi, Joelinton, Ndai, Bruno Guimaraes. For me, it'd be Bruno Guimaraes and probably Iwobi, mate. To be honest.
Great minds think alike. I go exactly the same too.
Look at that. Do you know what I mean? That's how we roll, mate. Yeah, I'd go for those 2, mate. Jordan says I'm doing a crazy free hit, including Welbeck, Shade, Triple Man United, Delip, Mbeumo, and Cunha, Eze, Roofs, and Mukiele. Going with my gut. What do you think? I like it, mate. I mean, I agree with you, mate. If you can find the money for Bruno instead of Cunha, I definitely do that.
That's the whole idea of a free hit as well. Go different. Like yeah, you don't make any points by picking the template on a free hit, I don't think.
I think it looks good though. I think it looks good, mate. I like the Shaddy because that Palace v Brentford is. I think it's going to fall into Brentford's hands a bit because Palace will be pushing very high up the pitch, and Brentford are very good in transition and they're rapid on the break. So I think that little prick, I sound like Nick. It could be good, mate. Last few now. We've got that one. Mike said, hang on. You said you were going triple Arsenal defence, and now you're captain the Saka. No, I think before it was a question like, would you have triple Arsenal defence or that? For me, I prefer a double Arsenal attack than the defence. What would you prefer if you could go back and change it, Darius?
This week, I think long term, I would 100% enjoy triple Arsenal defence than having any of their attackers, like long term. But if you ask me this week which 3 Arsenal players I'd like Gabriel, who I've got in my own team. I'd like Rice because he takes almost every free kick and he takes half the corners. And I would like Trossard because Trossard beats up on teams like Burnley historically and is probably going to top score at 0.4% ownership compared to the likes of Saka and Eze, and cost less. So those would be the 3 I would go with if I was on a free hit this week. And I'd captain Trossard just to double down on it.
Just go all in. Yeah, just go all in. Cayman's in the chat. He says, smash the like button. Like button. But it's Halloween, mate. I'm hanging out. Yeah. Do what Cayman says. Good to see you, Cayman. Last few then. Mike says, I need the card to decide. He needs the card. He's waiting for the card. D-Unit, mate. So make sure you watch at 4 o'clock.
Got to show up to the late mail, Mike. No, I'll do one for you, mate. Let's have a look. So what's he after? He wants to know whether he wants the double Arsenal defense or the triple. That's what he's asking, right?
Yes. Yeah.
All right. Let's have a look. All right.
Oh, here we go. Oh, here we go. This is live.
Triple defense, baby.
Oh, there you go. I
was right. Bruno Fernandes over Saka all day long.
The cards have spoken, mate. And a good one we finish it off there. Colm says, enjoyed the running video, Shane. It was good. This time I didn't fall over, Darius. The one before I fell over. But I held the camera, which was good. So it was a good little kind of like power shot in there. But no, cheers for that. Listen, Darius, we're coming to the end, mate. Absolutely fantastic again on the show. It's good to have along. Again, if you're not subscribed to Darius and FDLD Unit, go and subscribe. And where can they find you on YouTube? What's the handle?
Yeah, just where it says on my thing there, so at FPLD_unit. Yeah. Also, if you can give me a follow on X, that'd be nice. My X following is crap.
Right, well, there you go, chat. Get on there. Do the YouTube one first and then the X. But no, thanks for joining me, Darius. It's going to be a good weekend, mate. Again, if this afternoon, when you're meant to be working, you should actually be catching Darius's video at 4 o'clock, where the late mail will come in and the cards will speak. Apart from that, content-wise, we've got more running videos at the weekend, and then we'll have the review, hopefully a good review, of Game Week 10 at the end of the week. For now, good luck this weekend. And yeah, we'll see you over the weekend. Darius, again, have a great weekend, and I'll speak to you next week, pal. Chat.
My pleasure.
See you later. Bye-bye.
Yeah.